And I understand that now it doesn't even ring, it just goes to voicemail.
When
Good morning,
she stopped
Alfredo.
responding to the family when they couldn't reach her the next day, her sister went to look for her at Zachary's home. That's when she got a real surprise.
Well, we went out there, me and my cousin went out there. And that's when we knocked on the door, we didn't get the answer, so we knocked on the neighbor's door. And that's
Buenos
when she
dias.
told us that he was loading the couch on the truck. And said that he was moving because he needed a bigger place.
Thank you. My first daily heart me of the day, guys. Please, everyone, if you can, please send me daily heart me's.
He was married. He had a child. They told Samira his name was Ricky. He was not who he said he was.
What we learned is that his wife
Thank you,
was also
Alfredo.
in the Navy and was scheduled to actually move to Pensacola from South Carolina, where she was stationed.
Thank you,
next
Los.
But there's another twist to Samira's story.
Thank you, Alfredo.
She found out she was pregnant probably like a month ago. And she told him, and he was saying that he didn't want any more kids.
That's how I like it.
He's not supposed to go outside his relationship.
But what is his reaction?
He wanted her to get a abortion.
Tell me about things that she told you about him.
Why are y'all all here?
First, everything was cool or whatever.
I didn't even notice that all my dogs are here.
Then, when she found out she was pregnant,
They're like hawks watching me.
get her abortion or punching the stomach. And
I'm gonna try to, but I don't
It
know.
was kind of scary to me.
Fearing the worst, Pensacola police contact Florida State Prosecutor Bridget Myers Jensen.
I became involved.
Yeah, they're like
in the
everywhere.
case
Like,
because there was
I
such
leave it.
an
Usually
unusual
Dior is like
and
always here,
suspicious
but
circumstance. Zachary Littleton
Losing
was
my window.
initially a suspect,
Gucci's
and
right
probably
here.
the strongest suspect because he found
Guys,
out
can we
that
double
Samira
tap?
was pregnant, and he
She
was
in
not
the live?
happy about the pregnancy.
Please.
He was also the last person that we knew
like
Samira
raining
had been
today.
with
I
the
love
night
this
that she
weather.
went missing.
So Detective Thacker gives Littleton a call.
the first thing I do when I wake up is serve them their food, their water, give them the little munchies.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What's going on?
But if you have dogs and you
Very
know,
quickly,
them motherfuckers
indicated
are
that
never
he
full.
wasn't Ricky, he was Zach. And that was odd. There'd be
They're
a
never
different name
full.
given by the family as to what this actual person's telling me.
Hey, you know this young lady, Samira?
Yeah, she said Sammy. That's what she told me, kind of Sammy.
He, in fact, didn't even recognize her name at first when he was asked. They said, "Do you know a Samira?" And his response is, Samira, Sammy. She called herself Sammy, as if this was a person he had just met.
Do you know where she is now?
No, I don't.
Okay. All right. Look, here's the deal. She has been reported missing, okay? And at this point, we're investigating her whereabouts.
Take our
So I can talk
vitamins.
to you, and not over the phone.
There's
It
fish
was
oil, B
obviously
complex,
important to
collagen.
see what he knew. He was essentially could have been the last person to see Samira alive.
something else.
So
Oh,
I
multivitamins.
asked him to come down for an interview.
Okay, all right. You'll have to hear
Oh.
you work for the Navy, right? And police.
I hate
so
the
you're
smell.
like a military police. Okay.
I
Hearing
hate the
that Zach
smell. I hate
Littleton
the
was a military
taste.
police officer, part of the role was a police officer in the military wouldn't hurt somebody or cause them to go missing. I want to hear his explanation for why she's missing and what all he knew.
So you've known her for how long? And okay, and a few months, not a whole year. When was the last time that you saw Sammy? Last time I seen was Wednesday while I dropped off at home.
Yes, with Sprite. Y'all always, guys, y'all know Sprite for me is like my coffee.
He indicated that he
I don't
had never
drink coffee.
seen Samira on the
My
night of
only
his
fucking
appearance on the
bad
29th.
is
That
this.
was odd because she was supposedly going
Yes.
to his house.
It's water and
Have
it's.
any kind of a relationship with Sammy that was more than just friends? No.
So he's put
They don't care.
to his wife, but he had to keep that a secret because
I could give
under
him snacks
military
right now.
rules, You can get disciplined if you commit
And they're still
adultery.
gonna want this.
I want you to know.
And they know they
that,
can't have cheese.
I'm not the military. I want you to feel free to tell me
My son made this for me. I make shit. I go to work today, so when I work, I usually don't cook, and he has friends over. So when he has friends over, I'm here in the
Maybe I
room.
did some things, I said some things that probably made her believe that we was in a relationship, but
I don't walk out of my
I
room.
didn't see it that way.
When Samira met Zachary, she saw a military member who was very handsome and seemed to have his head on his shoulders and was charming and someone that she fell head over heels for and wanted to build a future with.
Sometimes just catch her staring at me and just, looking at me like she just admired by me so much. That's why I'm like, oh man, we can't. And you again that you want to be the woman in my life.
When investigators asked him about his feelings, Zachary acted cavalier towards a relationship with Samira. This was just a fling.
Was she depressed acting or anything? She just kind of had a sad tone to her. But she's like, we need to talk. Was the conversation centered around her thinking that she was pregnant with your child? No, it's more centered around why we can't spend time together. Was she pregnant? I don't know. So she never came to you and said, hey, this is your baby? She never actually came out and said that? No. She was like, the baby's going to be born. I mean, if she really was pregnant, were you at all concerned? For it to be mine? Right. Never.
He didn't want any part of this child. He didn't want any serious relationship with Samira.
How much for what?
Married, living a double life. He already had a child. And so he tried to encourage Samira.
Just letting you know, be careful what you say here, my love.
Not want to do. She wanted to have
Because I don't
I
care.
asked Littleton about his alibi for
I don't care.
on the night of the 29th.
I don't care.
He basically said he was at home all night, that he was moving.
Thursdays I work, and then night I was boxing up and cleaning up stuff. Well, I ain't really cleaning up, just boxing up my belongings and stuff. But my wife and my daughter, they'll be here in Friday, the 6th.
He was living in an apartment at that time here in Pensacola, and with his wife and his child being stationed within a week here in Pensacola, they had made a decision to leave the apartment and move into a home.
Hi, Moises. How are you? Good morning. This is abnormal for me to be up at this time.
So he said that night he was packing all night into the wee hours of the morning, getting all the stuff put in boxes and things like that so that he could begin the move the next day.
Where do you think she is? I don't know. I mean, I didn't do anything. I'm not responsible for her being missed. That's why we do. If you want to know if I'm responsible for her being missed.
Zachary Littleton seemed a little flippant and not concerned whatsoever as to where Samira may be.
Clearly, Littleton doesn't want the affair to come out, but that on its face doesn't mean he's involved in Samira's disappearance, especially since there's another development.
Once Littleton had moved out of his apartment, and we were able to go and search the apartment to see what was left behind, if there was a crime scene somewhere in the apartment. We didn't find anything of obvious concern. We didn't find blood. We didn't find where an obvious struggle had occurred. We didn't feel like it would be prudent to focus solely on him. We began to research Samira's past. And what we learned is that Samira had a boyfriend who had just gotten out of prison, actually, a guy by the name of William Peters.
William Peters was the father of Samira's 4-year-old child. They had had a very tumultuous relationship, both physically and mentally. Mr. Peters was abusive to Samira. At the time that Samira went missing, she did have a restraining order against her child's father, William Peters.
So he was someone who was dealing with obviously anger management issues, who had some feelings for Samira that were so intense that he committed crimes. And so now Samira goes missing. That's a big break for law enforcement.
Could the father of Samira's 4-year-old son have had something to do with her disappearance? Up next, Detective Thacker pays a visit to William Peters' family.
Did you ever hear William say anything during this time about being upset with Samira or wanting to do her any kind of harm?
Love for your cat can get lost in translation.
It's actually from the both of us.
But with wellness appetizing entrees, real slabs of chicken and fish, and delicious protein-rich recipes, it's the kind of love you both understand. Wellness Pet Food. Feed well, be well.
I'm full.
Step inside and find out. Love that. Love that. Need.
I don't know, it's just on the way to my house. Hey, what do you think though? I hope she's okay. I understand that, but what do you think?